Hey, do you like secrets? Well, in today's video, I'm going to give you interview secrets that every candidate should learn. I've been in recruitment for 14 years. I'm about to make a video that's going to tell you things you may never have been told in another video like it. Let's get started. Now, the first secret that I'm going to give you is something that flies under the radar, but it's about stimulants. Specifically, it's about coffee. 74% of Americans start their day with drinking coffee. But coffee is a stimulant and it impacts your nervous system and it can actually make you more nervous, especially when you're about to do something that is already nerve-wracking, like interviewing. So here's my advice. Coffee peaks 1 hour after consumption. So what you want to make sure you do is time it out so that your interview is at least 2 hours after you drink coffee. I think the half-life of coffee is something like 10 hours. But most of the jitteriness and the nervousness that can happen when you drink coffee before something that's going to make you nervous is going to happen in that 2 hours. So if your interview is at 10 a.m., make sure you take your last sip of coffee no later than 7:59 a.m. It is a small thing, but interviews are nerve-wracking. They make you nervous. And if you've drank a stimulant, that is going to make you jittery and more nervous, is going to contribute to nerves, that is going to make it so you don't have your best performance. You don't want that. This is an easy, small thing that you can control. Give yourself that 2 hour buffer. The next thing I want to talk about is dressing for success. And there's actually some nuance to this topic that I want to discuss briefly. First things first, you want to mirror the outfits that they wear wherever you're interviewing, right? If you're going to a place and they are wearing suits, you want to be wearing a suit. If they go to a place and they are business casual, you want to be business casual. Generally speaking, I always say it is better to be overdressed than underdressed. And that's true. But the best is to be dressed exactly like they are, because there are places where they're a lot more casual. And if you come in and you're wearing like a 3-piece suit, they might go, this person is overdressed for our environment and the way we go. So how do you go about doing this? Well, what you want to do is you want to ask the recruiter, hey, could you tell me about the attire? What is the attire that people wear at your company? What is standard for an interview? And get as much information as you can. I've been a recruiter for 14 years. A recruiter will be fine with you asking this question. But there's actually a little bit more to this topic when it comes to color. What color should you wear to an interview? Now, if you're talking about an office job, you want to wear blue, black, or gray. These are common colors. These are colors that will not be to your detriment. They're just standard colors that make sense for an office environment. Now, what if your job is creative? If you're a creative, you can wear purple, you can wear green, you can wear yellow. These are colors that are going to stand out. They're going to be a pop of color, pop of interest, allow you to peacock a little bit while being someone who is going to look professional for the role you're in. These I'm talking about, art directors, etc. You know who you are. If you are in content or in a space that allows and encourages creativity, these are colors that you could also mix into your wardrobe. What about colors you could avoid though? You want to avoid the color red. This can seem as overconfident or aggressive, and you want to avoid the color brown. Brown is perceived as boring. Now, these are small things, but when it comes to interviewing, you want to make sure you are giving yourself every possible advantage. Now, the next thing here is time slot. Time slot is sneaky, but can make a massive impact. You want to make sure that you get the best time slot, if at all possible. So what are the bad time slots? Well, the bad time slots are first thing in the morning. So if you're like at 7:30, 8 a.m., bad time slot. People are just getting in, getting accustomed to their day, etc. The very end of the day, if you're interviewing at 4:30 or 5, they are probably thinking about going home. Their mind is not in the right place. Additionally, you want to avoid right before lunch and right after lunch. Right before, people are hungry, their stomach is rumbling, they're not focused on you. There has been studies shown that people who go to court and they have court cases and the judge is there right before lunch, it is actually worse for the outcome. Same goes for interviewing. Now, right after lunch, people are often overly full. They are stuffed and their head is not in the right place. You know how after Thanksgiving, everybody feels like taking a nap? Well, this is kind of like a mini that effect. So ideally, you avoid beginning of the day, end of the day, and then the 2 times sandwiching lunch. Pun intended. There's also an element of seasonality here. If you can avoid right after vacations and right before and right after vacations, that's also good. And if you can avoid post and pre-holiday, right? So like the day before Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving. I don't know why I keep talking about Thanksgiving. Probably because it's like the next holiday. The next secret is that you need to nail the first 3 minutes and the last 3 minutes of your interview. These 6 minutes have been shown to be disproportionately impactful to whether or not you will get the job. So you got to crush it right out of the gate, and you got to end strong. I made a whole video on it. This video is going to teach you how to crush that 6 minutes of the interview to increase the likelihood of you getting a job. So I am done here, but you should absolutely go watch this video right here.